What comes to mind first when you hear that something's going viral on the internet? Well, you think a politician, a publication, a celebrity, a government act. Can be anything really, right? But never will you guess that a bicycle is going viral, because who cares about some bike? Well, not this particular bike. Charles Kagimu's Pinarello Bollide TT. When it was first spotted in the Kenyan streets, everybody went ballistic. Then speculation about how much it cost started going viral, and it was just crazy from there. Well, for starters, you'll ask, who's Charles Kagimu and why is he so important? Well, for those who don't know, he is the current individual African time trial champion. Again, you'll ask, what's a time trial champion? Well, a time trial competition is a type of competition where, unlike the road race, you're competing against the clock, individually with no team support or opponents to ride across with. And whoever records the fastest time in the competition is crowned the champion. This year's African time trial competition was held in Ghana in February 6, and Charles Kagimu participated in the elite category, where he emerged victorious. This is quite interesting because when he competed last year, he emerged position 27, which was quite a drop from the previous year of 2021, where he was position number 6. As a Uganda native, part of Team INOES Kenya and Kenyan Riders based in Iten, he's arguably the biggest cycling export from Uganda. Currently, he's riding in Kenyan Riders, a team that's dominating the Kenyan cycling race competition with so much authority, no competition at all. So you'll ask, what's so special about this bicycle that's got everybody talking about it in Kenya? The Pinarello Bollide TT bike was commissioned by Team INOES, which is based in the UK. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the specs of this bike, the cool features about it, and just try to decipher as to why it's so pricey, special, and fast. Not forgetting fast, because Pinarello claims that this particular frame, this particular Bollide TT bike is one of the fastest bikes that they've ever manufactured in their factory. Speaking of the frame, we'll get to that in just a bit. First, let's start from the top, where he's sitting on a Physique RS time trial specific saddle with a bit of a grip tape just to help counter that slippery motion when he's sliding forward to that aerodynamic position. And this is of course fitted with an aerodynamic seat post too. Moving forward from that, you get to the signature looks of a time trial bike, and that is the cockpit. This is a one-piece base bar and stem from Pinarello in-house brand. This also holds the carbon brake levers with not your so average carbon shift buttons, which operates the front derailleur. As for the rear derailleur, the shifters are positioned in the front end of the time trial extension bars, with no bar tape but just a thin adhesive grip tape to reduce weight and improve aerodynamics as much as possible. However, these are the standard Pro handlebar cockpit, the type that you get off the shelf. It can be adjusted upwards or forward depending on your reach. You can, however, get this custom 3D printed for you, depending with, how deep your pockets run. The shifters are connected to the Shimano Dura-S Di2 group set for the front and rear derailleurs. Di2 basically stands for Digitally Integrated Intelligence, hence the Di2. This is Shimano's equivalent to electronic shifting. Di2 gives you that instant, accurate and lightning fast shifting every single time at the push of just a button. Electronic goes without saying that this does not use cables, proving to be reliable even in the most extreme conditions. This also means that you need to be charging the battery. You need to check your batteries before you leave. Make sure that they have a charge. Failure to which, it might just fail on you when you're on that long ride. And unlike cables, which you can adjust with Allen keys and tighten, which you have on a regular bike, if this happens to you on a long ride or in a mid-race, you're doomed. You'll have to either run with the gears that you're running on, or just quit the race, call an Uber. Now, back to that all-important frame that we talked about earlier. This is the time trial frame made from the T1100 1K carbon alloy technology. I know, ever heard of that joke that if you can't explain any technology in a movie or in a script, you just slap there nanotechnology and no questions asked, because the limitless imagination of what nanotechnology can do supposedly can also be linked in a bicycle frame to make it more aerodynamic, make it as fast as it can be, and make it the best bike whenever you hit the ground with. Given that Charles is supported by Team INOES cycling team, this bike is finished in the traditional INOES Tilt Black. Something I know that Batman will probably own in one of his Batcaves. The frame is a work of art, the Mona Lisa of TT bikes. The frame is designed in such a way that impressive shapes and contours are all tailored towards reducing drag as he slices through cross and headwinds. Remember, he's doing this race alone. There's no team support or anyone to ride on the tailwind. Pinarello calls this the fastest bike they've ever created, which is obvious to see as to why this bike goes so fast. You can't deny that. This is the same bike that Filippo Ganna smashed the fastest indoor track record. It's just that his frame was 3D custom printed to fit specifically here. Something else to also marvel at are the rim brake caliper housing. That again looks like Batman ears. I know. Molded in a way to continue with the same frame contours, flowing the air in and out, hence reducing drag. You can tell that this is something that was carefully thought through and integrated into the frame design language. He uses a dual-sided power crank, which I think might have been a 5846 tooth, which is a more common combination for TT bikes. I'm yet to confirm this because I didn't really check on location. This is a much higher tooth ratio than what is found in normal road bikes, because most of time trial roads don't usually have a lot of steep elevations and are relatively short in distance, which calls for maximum power outage. At the rear of the bike, of course, he rides an 1130 tooth cassette. That's also synonymous to most time trial bikes. The chain is also from Shimano DRS. Crucial to any time trial bike are the wheels, the rims and the tires that you put onto your bike. Why, you might ask? Then why invest that much in the frame and cockpit aerodynamics and get the wheels wrong? This is usually a very difficult decision to make because the choice of wheels might just cost you those all important seconds. In the front, Charles has got the Shimano C60 deep section carbon fiber rims with carbon fiber spokes. This is fitted with the Continental Competition Pro Limited ALX 25mm wide tubular tires. At the back, he's got the Shimano Pro Textreme disc wheel, which has an interesting shape. Interesting how? The inner side, the drive side, where we have the chain and cassette, is flat, while the other side, the non-drive side, is lenticular in shape. Fitted on it is the Continental Podium TT tubular tires that are 25mm wide. He's adding tubular tires and you'll ask, why not go with the tubeless one? You know, the ones with the sealant inside. Remember we talked about marginal gain, seconds and reducing the weight on the bicycle. The sealant component in the tubeless tires adds just a little bit of weight. When you're on a TT bike, you're trying to shed down as much weight as possible. This is probably the most next level TT bike that we've seen in the Kenyan roads. And understandably so, because it's not easy to come by, it's very expensive, and it's very specific. This is a literal unicorn of bikes. If there's any bike that can go viral, then it has to be this. This is not the type of bike that you walk up in the streets and you see every other day. Well, for reasons that are obvious, it's expensive, it's a very specific bike, it's a time travel bike, and you can only do time travel with it. The sitting position is not comfortable. The seat post is not comfortable. You can't do long distance in this bike because of the position. You get tired, you get exhausted. It's not the most safe bikes because your reaction time when you're in that aero position and you're holding those TT bars, by the time you get off that and come back to hold your brakes, you might just lose that reaction time. And so it's not really advisable that you be riding around with this bike every other day in the streets, given how Kenyan drivers look down upon cyclists on the road. So yes, it's a very specific bike. So does it really cost 5 million shillings? Or a second-hand Prado TX? Or 5 Pro Boxes? Or 10 Suzuki Altos? You'll ask. Let's find out. For the sake of dollar fluctuation and inflation, we'll leave all the prices in dollars. You can always calculate and convert at your own time. Let's start with the frame set itself. As per the Pinarello website, the Bollide TT frame set goes for this much. The Dura-S group set, the Di2 Dura-S group set that's fitted on this bike goes for. The Physique RS saddle goes for this. Shimano C60 deep section front rim goes for this much. The Shimano Pro Textreme disc wheel at the back goes for this much. The Continental Competition Pro Limited ALX tire fitted in the front goes for this much. The Continental Podium TT tubular tire fitted at the rear goes for this much. The Shimano Dura-S pedals goes for this much. Well, this is not a complete list, but just the biggest takeaway features of this particular bike. Of course, you can fit it with your own custom personal components that might pump up the price higher, or you can down spec some of these items to just fit your budget. But of importance here is the frame design, the contour and the shapes of the frame, and of course the wheels. As evident from the comment section, you can clearly see that not many Kenyans appreciate the cost of bikes. If you're not a pro cyclist with adequate sponsorship and support, this is definitely not a bike to invest in. Given how limiting it is, as I've mentioned before, it lacks the versatility of a normal road bike or gravel bike or the mountain bike. We'll get into different types of bike on a later episode where we'll tackle the different types of bike that are there. A gravel bike, a mountain bike, a road bike, a TT bike, an e-bike, a fat bike, and just the differences between these bikes and what you should go for if you're to only own one particular bicycle. So there you have it, Charles Kagimu's Pinarello Bollide TT bike. And I hope you've enjoyed the closer look into it and what it's made of and why it's so pricey. And if you have any questions or would like to know anything to do with bikes, then do leave your question in the comment section below and we'll try to explain it in the subsequent episodes. In case you missed Charles Kagimu's ITT race highlights, then check out the link here above. And remember, for more pro bike reviews, race highlights and more, do subscribe to the channel, push the notification button so that you don't miss out on the next episode. If you've made it this far, you are a real one. Till next time, thank you for watching.